Hello, everyone. I'm Daria from Potential.com. As you know, we just launched the Tatawwar program 2020-2021. And today we want to respond to the questions that we already received. And we want to take teachers one more time through the platform, through the process to register, how to invite the students, how to track and communicate with them through the platform. But before we do that, I just want to take you through a very fast recap. The Tatawwar program is an exciting interactive program brought to you by HSBC in partnership with Potential.com, and it brings together students, schools, parents, and the business community to help innovate for the shared future. It gives students the chance to practice important business skills, understand sustainable commitments, connect with the corporate world, and hear from some extraordinary professionals along the way. Tatawwar means to develop in Arabic, and it includes a self-driven online program that raises awareness about the UN Sustainable Development Goals in the region, and it equips young people with social entrepreneurship skills. It encourages them to come up with their own unique ideas to address some of the world's most pressing social and environmental issues. The program focuses on three specific goals: climate action, good health and well-being, water and sanitation. And now I just want to take you through the program with Lujane. So we can just, if you can just start sharing the screen.
Yes, 1 second.
Sure.
All right, hello everyone. Please, Daria, if you can confirm you have the screen with you.
Yes, I can see the screen.
All right, sounds good. So basically, if you are a teacher, all you have to do is to go into tatawwar.com, and Daria and I are going to take you into the process and how you can benefit from the new features that we've added for this rollout, especially for the teachers track. So the first thing that you need to do after going into tatawwar.com, you have to click onto the stakeholders tab. So once you click on it, you will auto scroll into the stakeholders section. So here you can see your track, so you can join as a teacher. So once you click on join as a teacher, you go into the teachers page. So as you can see, you can know from the main message as well as the website. It will be tatawwar.com/teachers-track. So here you have the registration form of the teacher. So the first thing that you need to do is just to fill out your details. So let's start by the full name. And then you enter the email as a teacher. Please make sure that the email is your actual email, because we send mailers for you as well as news about the Tatawwar program. So you will be updated on all the track. And then you will create your own password. And then you select the country that you are living at. Then you click the checkbox.
And what if I'm already registered?
So basically, if you are already registered in the program as a teacher, all you have to do is to click on the login that is above the form. So once you click on it, a login form appears. So you enter your email and the password, then you click on the login.
And what if I forgot my password?
It's very easy to reset your password with our platform. All you have to do is to click on lost password above the login form, and then you can enter the email that you've registered at into the platform. However, if you also forgot your username or your email, you can contact us at tatawwar@potential.com, and the team would be able to support you immediately. So now let's go into the registration process. So after I fill out the details as a teacher, I click on register now. So after I register into the platform as a teacher, the first track will be the teacher's track, which is the teacher's overview. So it takes me into the first unit. So if you click on the course modules, It's a very short course, an interactive course for the teachers to know more about the program and how to engage with their own students in the school. So first you see the teacher's overview, where you can actually go down, you check the unit video. It's actually a very short animated video that you can watch, as well as you can check the unit summary and answer the survey question. So in this survey question, we've asked if you are already a teacher that participated or you heard about Tatawwar before. So you answer the question and you submit to move to the next unit. At any time, you can go into the dig deeper section if you need to learn more or to access more resources. So you can read the transcript, which is the script of the video, as well as you can check additional related resources from our trusted websites, as well as extra articles that you can refer to and share with your students. So this is completely optional. Every time you answer the survey, you click on next unit to move to the next unit. And here is the most exciting part once you reach the teacher's admin panel. Why? Because in this unit, you're going to learn the new feature that we've added this year, which is to track your students. So first you have to watch a video to learn more about how to track your students and how to interact with them using the platform. You can check the unit summary. All the unit structure are the same in each and every course, as well as it's the same structure in the students track. So you can relate to what your students might be going through or what they might be filling. So the Build Your Tatawwar class is your section as a teacher. So in it, you start by building your class. What does that mean? You enter all the emails of your students that you want them to actually participate in the program and be part of the Tatawwar program for this rollout. So here you start by entering the emails.
Is there any limitation to how many students I can put in my Tatawwar class?
It's actually, there's no limitation for this form. So if you are a teacher, it's very exciting that you can enter 1,000 user, it doesn't matter. But you have to make sure that each email you enter, you just click a comma in between to separate the emails from each other. So I'm just gonna enter some testing emails as well as my email. I hope I didn't fail in the post test, but anyway, so you can see my grades later on. You click on save your answers, and then an automatic email will be sent out from the system to these emails that you've entered in the action plan.
That's really great. And how do I then track the students?
Well, it's very easy how to track your students. So what you need to do is to either stop here. It's completely optional to stop here if you're really excited to know how your students did in the platform. And please note that even if your students already registered before, you can even still enter their email so you can actually track them. You can edit the emails at any moment during the program. So if you want to track these emails, you go up to the dashboard. So in the header, as you can see, there is a dashboard tab. Once you click on it, you will be redirected to the dashboard as a teacher. If you want to continue your course, you can definitely go into the Tatawwar program for the teachers track. You can complete it to know more about the program and to learn more about the current rollout, as well as you can benefit from extra specialized courses from the potential.com library. And of course, all this content is for free. So in the dashboard, you click on track your students if you see it below the badges. Once you click on it, it will redirect you into your dashboard. So first, there's just 2 seconds authentication to make sure that you have access for your users and all the information that you've added are valid. So as you can see, first, you have the total number of students that you've entered in the action plan. There are 3. You have 1 completed application. So you can, at any moment, in a real-time tracking dashboard, you can check how many completed applications you have. You can see the users that I've entered. So I entered myself and another testing user, as well as the third testing user. So you can notice that this user here is not registered. That's totally fine. You can check later if it's still not registered. You can send an automatic invitation from the system by clicking on invite again. And then the system will send you a confirmation pop-up that the invitation is automatically sent.
That's really, really great. Just before we exit the online viewing, can you just go back one more time to the stakeholders?
Yes, but before that, I would like to highlight that these students that you can see in the dashboard, as a teacher, you can add more or remove some of them. So how you do that is to click on add more students, and it will take you directly to the action plan question that you've answered inside the course. So from here, you can edit, you can, for example, type in Daria's email, and then you click on save answer. So once you go again to the tracking dashboard and refresh, you're actually gonna see the email right here. And Daria, you're not registered.
I will.
All right, so let's go back to the stakeholders tab that is on the main page. Over to you, Daria.
Yes, I just want to tell you that also you can register also your school. You can join also as a volunteer, but registering as a school, you will also receive all the materials. So for your school, it doesn't have to be just you as a teacher involved. You can invite also other teachers through that, and we can then attribute the students to your school, which is very important. Thank you, Lejane. And now I want to welcome our guest, which is Maria Vitoratos. She's the career coach. Hi, Maria.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
So today you're going to talk to us about the importance of self-learning.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about change and some of the types of things we need to be considering when we look at change. So if you can give me access, I'll share my screen. I'll need the host to give me access.
We're working
Yeah,
on.
1 second.
I've got it, no problem. Okay, so you should all be able to see my screen right now. Great. Well, thank you for having me. It's really exciting to be here talking to the youth and this community, working with the youth. Today, I want to be talking about changes that I see in meeting professionals from industries around the globe and some of the things that we're noticing, particularly now through this pandemic, and with the youth in an educational outlook. We're talking about the changes that are required, but it's more about a mindset. And it's about three key things. And this is what I'm going to be focusing on. So I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I want to be talking about opportunities, attitude, and ego. So when we're thinking about the mindset, most often we think it has to be positive and we have to be focusing on the positive. But I don't want to be fairy tailing what positivity means. I just really want to be talking about things that are effective and what we can be helping the youth in understanding. So opportunities, it's always a yes or a no. And when I work with the youth, I always repeat again and again that when something is available to you, even coming on a platform like this, there's an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for networking, but more importantly, it's an opportunity for learning. And the question is, do we say yes or do we say no? When a young person is working on a self-driven project, very similar to the projects that your youth will be working on, they really need to be looking at time management, and they need to be deciding what they're going to be saying yes to and what they're going to be saying no to. My tip for anyone watching this is to have that mindset and look at opportunities as a growth mindset. It's always about what can I gain and what can I learn? But more importantly, it's about how is this going to enrich the experience in front of me, and how is this opportunity going to enrich my potential growth and the growth of those that I'm trying to support. And if there's a definite yes, then we want to be saying yes to. Very often young people, particularly when they're trying to gain experiences of work or trying to gain experiences out of the classroom, they think they have to be saying yes to everything. But remember, a no doesn't mean that you're not being open. It simply means that you're really considering the focus and direction that you want to be taking. So an opportunity is always about looking within, self-reflecting, and deciding, if I say yes, how does this help me grow? How does this help me learn? What is the enriching opportunities that are ahead of me? And how does my community grow with me? The second thing that I see very often, not just with the youth, but anyone at any age group, and in the interviews that I do when I'm meeting either young professionals or weathered professionals, I always notice attitude, and it stands out. The attitude is, do we feel entitled or are we acting like a victim? So when we're thinking about our mindset, we always want to be thinking about not just opportunities so that we can be better, but also how are we behaving with these opportunities? Are we acting entitled? Do we think that we're privileged either because of our very luxurious education or maybe the lifestyle that we live? Or are we constantly feeling like a victim because we don't have enough, or maybe we didn't learn enough, or maybe we don't have access like somebody else would? So our attitude, doesn't matter what age we are, the attitude of the individual is going to take them a long way. And I always say to the youth, when an opportunity comes at your door, don't feel like the opportunity is a given, and don't think that anybody owes you anything. It's always really important to be well balanced and to find your way forward without feeling that everything should be given to you and that everyone should be making things available to you. And when things don't go right, don't have the attitude of it's never happening for me, or I'm always getting this wrong, or I'll never get this right. That's what I call that victim attitude. So stay open to opportunities and have an attitude, a growth attitude. And then we see the ego popping in a lot. So I encourage the youth all the time to put your ego to the side. Your title is not attractive. What's attractive to either a professional interested in working with you, a teacher interested in supporting you through a project, or even a coworker, a colleague, a peer wanting to work with you, they don't want to be intimidated by your title. Yes, it's important to be proud of our education. Yes, it's important to be proud of what we achieve, but those titles don't define us. So remember, stay open to opportunities. Don't feel entitled. Don't think that you're privileged, and don't feel so boosted by the title. Remember, how you leave people is what they're going to be remembering about the experience being around you. And when opportunity knocks on your door, I always encourage the youth to take somebody with them through the door of opportunity. Don't let your ego make you believe that you're so much more important than anybody else, or even if you didn't get that first prize, don't let the ego push you down and believe that you're not good enough. And remember, you are not defined by those titles. So that's it for me. Sorry, that was a swift one, but I wanted to keep it nice and swift and sweet. And is there any questions that you guys want to be asking?
Yes, actually, I want to ask you, how do you think about the Tatawwar program fitting into grabbing the opportunity? I mean, it's easily accessible. You learn a lot. You have the opportunity for competition. Do you think it's a good opportunity for teachers to talk about it to students? Do you think it's attractive to students?
Honestly, I think anything that allows the youth to be stepping outside the classroom and gaining experiences outside the classroom is always a great opportunity. I'm not very familiar with what Tatawwar does, but I do know that the projects you're working on require that students take initiative, that they learn how to build those networks, and that they learn how to be creating something from an idea and work together with a team. So I think what you're offering the youth is a great opportunity. It's definitely something for a young person who is considering applying to university one day. They're going to either write a college essay or they're going to have to write a personal statement. And what advisors from universities are always looking for is, what does the student do outside of the classroom? What have they achieved without the teacher taking their hand and taking them through it? And then we also have to be thinking about those transferable skills. So in the projects that you're helping the youth gain and work on, you're teaching them how to take skills they might have learned in the classroom and transfer them into these projects that they're working on and taking initiative. So those are all skills that prepare the youth to become work ready for the future. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it answered my question. Thank you. I just have one more question. Do you think being part of such a program as a student, because it's focusing on the most pressing social and environmental issues, do you think it's beneficial for the growth, for learning, for being aware of it?
I think everything is very beneficial. We have to remember that in order for the youth to become work ready and in order for them to gain skills, they need to be given the opportunities to stop being a student and start walking in the shoes of their future selves. And they need to start learning how to take those skills and be self-sufficient and self-drivers. So definitely the growth mindset is definitely something that is going to be enriched in working with the projects that you're helping the youth to develop, Daria. And I think anything that takes a young person outside their student role and gets them thinking about a project and helping them go from start to finish without spoon feeding them is always very, very beneficial.
Thank you. And I just have one more question, which is from one of the viewers from YouTube. It is, if you could explain the ego just a little bit, because
definitely. So the ego is something that we all have. It's something, it's who we are at an unconscious level. And sometimes that ego, it tells us what's right and what's wrong. And it's kind of that judgmental part of who we are. And we all have it. It's just part of being, it's part of the human experience. But what we tend to see with individuals, and it doesn't matter our age group. We can see this with young people. We can see this with much, much older people. It's when that judgment kicks in at such a level that it almost supersedes the growth mindset. It's when we believe that we are right and everybody else is wrong. Or it's when we allow our titles or when we allow what we believe about ourselves to override the potential for growth. It can be dangerous. So when I say keep your ego to the side and learn how to train your ego, it's learn how to identify when you're trying to be right because you think that you're right, as opposed to saying, wow, that's an interesting perspective. I wonder what I can learn from that. And I wonder how that's going to enrich my experience. So it takes a lot of time for us to start to get used to it. But when we're young, if we can start training that ego, if we can start identifying when the need to be right and the need to make somebody else wrong kicks in, then we can start to hone in on noticing when we're not allowing ourselves to grow or not allowing somebody to grow alongside us because we're too interested in being right and being seen as the smartest person in the rooms. And it's important that the youth, and I see this a lot when young people are asking mentors for help. It's almost like they don't know how to ask without coming across as ego driven. And in helping the youth to understand that the person that you're reaching out for, either a business networking or asking a teacher to support you through a project or asking a mentor to give you some of their skills and strategies, what a young person wants to remember is the language that they use and the approach to how they ask for that support. And when the ego is wide awake, and when the ego is driving it, that can come across as very arrogant, and it can come across as very entitled, as opposed, and sometimes when we're too ego driven, the other person is just put off. They don't even want to support you anymore because they feel like you're taking as opposed to sharing. So the ego is something that we all have, and it exists in everybody. It doesn't matter who you are and what ranking you have. But when we notice that we have to be right and somebody has to be wrong, when we notice that we're going in so firmly having to win whatever it is that we want without considering the needs of somebody else, it is a signal that your ego is in overdrive, and we want to start to teach the youth how to recognize that.
Thank you so much, Maria, and thank you for being our guest today.
Yeah, and if there's one last thing that I can say, Daria, before we say goodbye,
yes.
is the global pandemic right now, and what we're seeing with people in industry is it's a time of very big uncertainty. It's a time of really not understanding what the next step is going to be, because we're all treading on this water of when will things settle, and what, you know, we're seeing a lot of changes in the economy. We're seeing a lot of employment changes, people losing jobs, people being made redundant. And it's a time of uncertainty, but it's also a time of opportunity, and it's a time of upskilling. And this is a great time for the youth to step outside and look at life and let life become their classroom. So opportunities where young people can learn how to start a business or drive a business or create something from a vision, learn how to work with other team members, particularly using technology to its highest ability, being able to tap into those virtual platforms. For example, what we're doing right now, having access to professionals across the world, take advantage of those things, because it's platforms like this that didn't exist even a decade ago, probably not even 5 years ago, and they exist today. So take up those opportunities. It's really, really going to be the key between what you are doing today and what you want to be achieving, is if you take advantage of the opportunities and don't allow fear to stop you and paralyze you from taking up those opportunities. And the pandemic right now, it is a time for young people to look out at what potential there is and start to decide what their interests are, and start to learn how to take those interests, find a problem in the world, and use their skills and use their knowledge to find solutions. And if this is what you're doing at Tatawwar, is in helping students and young people to start honing in on opportunities like this, I think they should be taking advantage of these opportunities, because this is something that no one will teach them when they start working, but will assume that they're able to do independently.
Thank you, Maria. I really hope it motivates all the teachers as well as all the students. If I was a student between 15 to 18, for sure after this, I would apply to Tatawwar. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Sorry, now I just want to recap on everything, all the rules. So it's for students aged 15 to 18 years old, living in UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, Egypt, and Algeria. And now we are in the process of registration and the self-directed online learning, and that will end in December. After that, we're going to be shortlisting top 20 ideas in each country, and the students will have the chance to work on their prototypes in the Fab Labs and present their ideas, maybe also online, because we do have the technology. And top 20 students across the region then will be invited to acceleration program in the final event, where they can work on finalizing of their prototypes and pitching their ideas to the jury. So the finalists will be also recognized on the social media as the Tatawwar program ambassadors. We have already 30 by now. We will award and support the top 3 winners with crowdfunding opportunities to raise the money from investors and help them fund their business ideas and prototypes. Also, the winners, they're going to have the chance to present and show their idea at Expo 2020 in Dubai. So now all I can say is I hope you got motivated to join the program and invite your high schools. Grab the opportunity, as Maria said, and we will keep having the sessions for students and teachers. So please follow us on social media to keep up to date with the deadlines and upcoming events. To register as a teacher, please visit www.tatawwar.com/teachers. For any further information, contact the Tatawwar team at tatawwar@potential.com. Thank you all for attending today, and we hope you will join us with your students on this exciting journey. Take the opportunity.